Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. Sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
You are watching the new channel where we help you to see the new you. I'm Lee O'Brien, and this is Foreign Affairs. Welcome, everybody, to Foreign Affairs here on the new channel. I'm Lee O'Brien, your host, and we are here for a very, very special episode. It is the 1-year anniversary for TNC, the new channel, of broadcast and sharing great stories and love throughout the world. And we are celebrating it here, one TNC year. It was a year ago today that this month that this station was started. And to celebrate, we're going to be having a 7-day live streaming of shows from May 9th through 15th, 24-hour nonstop live stream on May 15th. One remarkable celebration, one idea, one community, hashtag one TNC year. So it's been a whole year, which is going to include especially big programming is going to be coming from the warmly accepted hashtag Global Women Who Rule 2021. And as part of the one TNC year anniversary celebration, here's a concept that will change the way we celebrate Mother's Day. So this month of May, 8 mom and daughter tandems with beautiful stories will share how wonderful their life has been because they are blessed with an outstanding mother. So that's me and mom. Hashtag me and my outstanding mother. It's on May 15th, 2021 from 1 to 3 p.m. Saturday, only on hashtag the new channel. And then also in coordination with One Mom, we're also going to follow with Pink 2021 on May 15th, which is going to be a 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. live via TNC. Is going to be a broadcast, special programming that we are launching with 6 speakers to celebrate as well. It's kind of like a conference session here on TNC, another way we are celebrating 1 year since TNC was formed, which we can say is a pandemic baby. TNC now has been broadcasting over 30 different shows throughout the Philippines and worldwide. So definitely tune in this Saturday, May 15th, for all of those shows. And throughout this week, all this week is special programming for the one TNC year. And we thank you for being here. And I thank you for being here too. We came back. We finished season 1 of Foreign Affairs a couple weeks ago. And we had to come back and do a special episode for this special week where we are celebrating the 1 year anniversary of TNC. And per usual, I was able to connect with someone in a group that is really changing and offering a great opportunity for not only tech companies, but especially small businesses and people starting out in business to manage all of their operations. So without further ado, I would like to welcome to the show the co-founder of OrderBasket app, Karina See. Karina, please come on board. Come on stage.
Hi, Lee. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. I'll tell you quickly the backstory. I stumbled across OrderBasket a couple months ago on some of the Facebook groups for Philippines tech and startup culture, and people kept talking about it. And then finally, I went in and had a demo with your co-founder, Tiffany. And I'll tell you, I was thoroughly impressed with your company's the company's app, the company's vision, what you guys are doing. Please, Karina, fill in myself, refill in me, but also fill in our viewers on what exactly OrderBasket, how did it start, and what's it all about?
Thank you, Lee. So as you mentioned, we do actually help small merchants go online, and we really wanted to help these small merchants solve their problems of having difficulty managing their operations, really communicating with their customers, even managing inventory. We found people had trouble with that. And because so OrderBasket is really a tool for all of these merchants to go online. And it's something that started during the pandemic as well.
Right. So would you say, like, you and co-founder Tiffany, did you guys have background in small business setup, in small business finance, in admin? Did you guys know about that?
Actually, we did not. I don't even really have a tech background, so it was all very new for us. I did kind of dabble in a tech project before this, around 2 years ago. But with regards to the SME space and working with merchants and even admin, we really did not have any background. So we had to learn it. We had to learn it and develop it as we were making the app.
Got it. And would you say, like, sometimes, the ideas can be born out of, just a yearning to help someone out, etc. In the case of OrderBasket, were you seeing people throwing up their hands while running their business? Were you like, was there a moment when you guys both kind of realized, hey, this is something we should look into doing? What was that transcendental moment?
So actually, during the start of the pandemic, I noticed as I was like browsing Instagram and Facebook that so many businesses were going online. So like just new businesses as well as old brick and mortar businesses that were now forced to go online because of the pandemic. And I saw that there was really an opportunity here for something to come in, because even as a customer who would like to purchase something, I felt that the process of having to message people and having to ask them just for like some prices and was very difficult. And so that's like a pain point that the customer experiences. And then another thing is my mom actually manages a gelato store, and we do supply these to some hotels, but since the pandemic started, we had to sell to consumers. So we used to be B2B, and then now it's B2C. And then I did see her struggle a lot with having to manually count the inventory every time someone orders and having to manage how to ship what and to where. And my mom is not really someone who is very tech savvy. So that is why we really wanted to kind of develop something that was very easy to use. It's very really for like these small businesses that kind of just need something to help them get off the ground. And so I think that is what I would say really sparked that. And then at that point, I asked Tiffany if she would be interested in pursuing this kind of idea. And thankfully she was.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's great that you being an quote unquote outsider, non-tech, and not even a business admin person, just an observer watching your mom, to see an opportunity to create something based on that opportunity and to fill a need in the market. When I think that's awesome. And I think actually, when I think about it, maybe the fact that you didn't have that background is maybe giving you a little leverage, because you can come in with fresh eyes and create what a need is, rather than, try and morph what has always been into something new, right?
Yeah, I think so too. And well, my co-founder, Tiffany, she also does not really have that much experience running a business, but she does she's kind of in the same position as me, where she sees her mom and she's quite involved in helping her mom's business. So I think her fresh perspective and her different background from mine was also really helpful when we started.
Right on. So when you guys first generated the idea and the concept, what were the basic lineup of services you were thinking you needed to offer? What were the key points you wanted to hit on?
So definitely we wanted a very easy way for all of the merchants to see who and what exactly people are ordering from them. And we wanted to see this in a very nice way, because without any kind of platform or tool, typically they would have to rely on DMs, and typically your inbox could get really flooded from these things. So many people have resorted to stuff like Google Forms and Jot Forms, but these are not always tailored to e-commerce. So it's not, sometimes it's not that effective. So that's one, seeing and managing your orders. And then we also wanted to help them manage inventory. So this is also, again, like going back to my mom, right? I saw that like whenever someone orders, she would literally have to write it down in a notebook and kind of cancel out and compute how much stock she has left every single time. So the inventory is something that we wanted to integrate. So for example, when someone orders, it's going to automatically be subtracted from their total inventory should they wish to use that option. And then third, we've also wanted to make the communication between the merchant and their customers easier. So typically you'd when you kind of go through DMs and stuff like that, there's a lot of back and forth between the merchant and the customer. So for example, it's like, oh, your order is ready. Like, what's your address? How much? This is the total. Oh, these are like all the issues. So with OrderBasket, we wanted to automate that a bit. So now, for example, when the order is confirmed, the customer will also get an email saying like, oh, everything is confirmed. And then basically we wanted to streamline that a lot so that the merchant really does not have to do all that much. Yeah, so that their DMs could really be reserved for the more meaningful conversations with their customers.
I can straight up tell you, as a micro small business manager, co-founder myself, when the DMs get backed up, it is a headache. Like that is, it's a beautiful, DMs are beautiful because they're free, because they're, easy to access, because a lot of people are already on them. So you've already got the integration and you've already got people adopting the method, but they can get backed up so quick, and they can get backed up and then people get lost in the shuffle. And that's when you start losing sales, and, it's a whole ripple effect, right? So I know you guys are, I appreciate what you guys are doing. I want to know, Karina, so neither you nor your co-founder Tiffany had these backgrounds in tech, so much tech or so much business admin. You're observing your mothers, watching them, how they're doing it, taking their problems, trying to fix them, etc. So tell me, what is it? Let's say I was someone in your position, just starting something totally new without that experience. What are the things that were the good first steps that you took? What were the smart first steps you took, knowing that you weren't fully educated and experienced on these things?
I think speaking to a lot of people is something that really helped us, especially at the start. So Good. I would say the biggest things that we had to learn were really, I had some experience in tech and web development, but that is still something that I had to learn a lot of. And then another thing we really had to learn is more of the needs of the merchants. So yes, we kind of had an idea of the problem by observing the people around us. But what really helped us, I think, was we held these kind of focus group discussions and demos, one-on-one demos with potential merchants and potential people who could use this. So what we did actually is we went on Facebook groups, and then we actually offered like a small amount of money so that we could talk to some of these small businesses who were going online, and to really learn more about their pain points, to learn more about the issues that they were facing, and to really see if they would be interested in this kind of solution. So I think really understanding the problem around like business management, business admin, and all of that from the user's perspective really helped us a lot in developing. So that's one. And then another thing is the other thing is we also learned more about how to actually build this type of tech product. So we learned the important things that we need to look for, and we did outsource the development, but we also had to kind of integrate ourselves in learning all of the frameworks and all of that.
And so would you say the first few months or how many, and I guess that's the next question, how many months of preparation before launch did you guys put into this?
So we spent about maybe 3 months really nailing down the design and the design and really trying to solve all of the pain points of the customers. And then a lot of the time after that was really spent developing the product with our partner developer. So that took about maybe an additional 7 months, I would say 7 to 8 months maybe. And then, so we're actually very new, and we just launched last to the end of January. Yeah, so we're pretty new.
Yeah, that's what Tiffany said, was that you guys had just recently launched. So,
Yeah.
you know, which is even more admirable. You know, that's great that you guys utilize the time. When looking back on that time, you know, in the build up, what were your, you know, like what I'm trying to understand is, if you kind of have ideas and goals of what like problems you want to solve while you're doing the research, what were you trying to focus on mostly to make sure it applied to what your final product was?
Hmm. We we really wanted to focus on the problem that we were trying to solve, I think. Because when you're kind of developing this thing, it's easy to get lost and kind of lose track of the main thing you're trying to do. So, for example, in an e-commerce tool like ours, there are really many possibilities that you can go into. For example, you could potentially spend a lot of time in allowing cus- allowing users to customize their shop. So what we really wanted to focus on is nailing down the core problems we needed to solve, as you kind of asked me earlier, and really nail those down on how we can solve those problems the best for these small businesses. Oh, and another thing we wanted to ensure, um, besides solving their problems, is we wanted to make it very accessible. So, um, accessible for people who aren't as tech savvy, and as well as like accessible for people who cannot invest too much money in these types of products, because there are actually many available online platforms like these ones. But I think what we how we wanted to go about it was we really wanted to support these smaller businesses who typically don't want to like invest in these types of things because they can't, because of the scale. So we really wanted to offer like a free plan and really just make it very easy for anyone to get on.
Yeah, I got to imagine that, you know, when you have, you know, an end goal and all the ideas, and then you're going through the process of trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, etc. You know, it takes quite a bit of focus and a good, you know, good direction, and focus to pick out what works, what doesn't, figure out what's going to push you towards your end goal. And
Mm-hmm.
you bring up a really good point. You know, like, for a lot of platforms decorate their benefits in different ways, right? Some
Mm-hmm.
people have accessibility, in your case, right? Other people have, you know, these beautiful, crazy high-end shops that look so nice and whatnot. And maybe they don't put in the work on the back end or the back office and just make it simple and easy. What are some of the things that you are doing specifically to make it more accessible that that you have found works for the order basket?
Um, so the number one thing we really made sure of is that it was very simple to operate, yet quite powerful and effective when it's being used. So I think a lot of it has to do with the actual design and UI UX of the site, in which it's easy to understand. It's very easy to kind of set up with very minimal configuration. So actually, one of the things that we highlight about OrderBasket a lot is that you can set up your shop in just a few minutes with like a few clicks, because it's really simple. So um, ideally, this is not something that you'd have to really take too much time on. And in fact, we also offer like guided setups and demos just to help people understand it better and to help get on board easier so that they could start solving their own problem in that way.
Well,
So,
I've personally experienced the demo, and I can say it is well worth the time to check out. You
thank
know, like
you.
if someone, yeah, if someone has, you know, a need for this or is interested in this kind of platform, I would highly recommend connecting with OrderBasket and getting a demo, because it really lays out it. You said it. It's very accessible. I mean, between the startup time and effort needed, apart from the how easy it is to use, and then of course the price point just puts it at such a economic opportunity for someone who's maybe doesn't want to spend that much on a platform. It's really, really impressive.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So here you are. When it'll be, it was about what, 11 a year ago now that you guys first had this idea?
Yeah, just about a year ago, actually.
Okay. So you're a year on, Karina. What, you're looking back, let's say you got a chance to start over, went back a year ago, knowing what you know. What are the lessons you learned? Not just in let's talk about the lessons that apply to your app and apply to the system, but also as a business woman and as a company co-founder, what are some things that you would maybe do differently? Nothing? It was perfect.
No, definitely not perfect.
No, never it is, but that's good.
It's really never perfect. But perhaps, okay, now looking back, I think there could have been some time saved in the development process, because sometimes we get new information, right? So how it kind of worked was we had like this base idea and the base design for what the platform would be. And then we started developing. But then while we were developing, we were still kind of holding these focus group discussions with potential users. So it's like while we were kind of developing, there would be new info that would come in all the time, which is very normal. But then it did also cost us some, like there were some like a few design revisions, right? Which is like added work, added time, and investment in all of these things. So I think really focusing more on that initial talking to people, really learning more about what they need would have helped a lot and would really go a long way in saving actual development time in these types of projects. And then another thing I really learned is, for me personally, this is not really more of a tech thing, but for me personally, I really learned to work with people. So it was a really nice learning experience to just be able to, work with Tiffany, to work with our developer. And we also recently expanded our team. So just this kind of experience of collaboration towards a shared goal is a really good experience.
Yeah, I myself, I've been in some businesses before in the past, but currently I'm in a food manufacturing business that we started approximately 2 years ago, and or a year and a half ago. And so it's been an amazing learning process. Apart from achievements and setbacks and everything, there's always so much to learn. But at the same time, like, I think there's real value in being able to know when you're, lost at sea, coming up and down between the big waves of the journey, and being able to, take some time and overlook everything you've traversed and see what you've learned and where you've come and et cetera. And, to add on, let's just be honest, the elephant in the room here is, this pandemic, so everyone here was starting businesses, continuing businesses, ending businesses, all that. Meanwhile, just trying to manage the personal stress of not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring, adds on a whole new edge to it. But I feel like it kind of buffers us, it kind of strengthens us. And if we were able to survive the pandemic, and like in your case, if you're able to go from scratch, nothing, to product launch and able to hire on someone and increase your team size, you know, you got a good shot at doing more in the future under more calm and relaxed conditions, right?
Yeah. Definitely it brought on like challenges for us. But at the same time, I think it also the pandemic was really something that I guess forced the conception of the idea in the first place, because I think without it, yeah, because it's like practically overnight, so many people were forced to just go online to survive, and so many merchants and all of these things. So it did bring a lot of challenges, definitely, but I think it, in some way, it was also an opportunity for us to solve some problems and help some people.
Right on. Well, that's great. Well, I'm excited. We're going to keep talking about this. Right now, we're going to cut away for our first commercial break, but we are going to return here shortly with Karina See, co-founder of OrderBasket, and you are watching Foreign Affairs on the new channel. Welcome back to Foreign Affairs here on the new channel. Before we get back to our great conversation with Karina See, co-founder of OrderBasket app, as always, this show, Foreign Affairs, is one of many here on the new channel. And the new channel is, after a year now, celebrating a year anniversary. And as always, we always are inviting you to watch all of our shows live or the replays, such as U-Turn, TNC The Talk, Awesome Day, Home Buyer, The Puppet Stories, every Monday at 5:30 p.m., The Big Picture, Mondays to Fridays at 7:15 p.m., The Millennial Voice, every Monday at 8:30 p.m. The show you're watching, Foreign Affairs, is on every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. HR Hotline shows at Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 noon. Moving On Business is another show, and then another show, Well Home, every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Also, the show Mental Shift every Tuesday and Thursday, 7:30 p.m. U.S. time. That's Pacific. Wednesdays and Fridays, 10:30 a.m. Philippines time. And the Money and More every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Philippines time and 5:30 a.m. Pacific U.S. And then also the show Cyber Next. We also have other shows that we're talking about. Catch all of our original shows, such as Healthline, Couple Goals, Win Within, shows every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Market Leader, Yola is Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. The show Negotio at Home, every Friday at 12 noon. Tech U, the show TNC Marketplace, shows every Friday and Saturday at 5:30 p.m. And then COVID Stories, Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. Realty Realities, Saturday at 4 p.m. We also have the Danny Art Show, the After Shift, and Women at Work. And then, of course, we got Family Business, Usapang Beauty, and The Fourth Project. And we also have TNC specials, such as One Day, TNC Arena, TNC PressCon, and TNC Town Hall, which shows on Saturdays at 7 p.m., is co-hosted by TNC founders Lloyd and Apple. Town Hall is where we talk to you, our valued audience. There's more upcoming shows. Just follow hashtag TNC Now on Facebook and YouTube and allow your passion to inspire you. And together, let us hashtag see the new you. So that's all of the shows that are here on TNC. Again, we are celebrating TNC 1 year anniversary, hashtag 1TNC year, here on this week's episode of Foreign Affairs. So without further ado, would like to bring back our special guest, Miss Karina See, co-founder of OrderBasket app. Karina, come on out. There you are. Hi. So, been talking about, the origins of OrderBasket, the response to needs that you guys saw, the progress until now. What has been the big response from the market? What are you seeing people really latch onto? What are your key takeaways?
Our key takeaways is really that we find that many people are really very interested in it, and they see the value in something like this. But what we've actually learned is that these types of services, order management, business operations management tools, it's actually a big investment for the merchant, and it's not something that they could just kind of adopt overnight. So before, I actually thought that when we were kind of in the early stages, I really had the impression that if it's there, people will come. But then what I've since learned is that that's not always the case, and that many times actually, people really need to be guided and to learn, because it does require a lot of investment from them in terms of moving their operations into this kind of platform.
Right on. And how have you guys, taking that into consideration? What are you guys doing to adapt to that? What have you learned to do in the pivot?
So what we really do is, I think we offer great customer service and support. So we really, so I have personally made friends with some of our merchants, and we really try to support them every step of the way, not just in using our platform, but also with them in growing their own business. So, for example, if there's anything that we can kind of assist with, because this is just a very small part of growing a business. So typically we also assist them in marketing and all of these things. So we really try to help them. We really just want to be able to connect with the merchants and really help them. And this has kind of helped build that connection and relationship with the merchants. So that has been really helpful too.
It's, it's funny because you said customer service, and if there's anything, I've always thought customer service is extremely important, but especially now during the pandemic, when everyone has to go online, or everyone's dependent on it. Everyone's dependent on so many services that are virtual that you can't go face to face and deal with someone about, the level of customer service truly differentiates
I
one
definitely
company
agree
from the other. Am I right?
Super.
Yeah. It's I mean, I seriously, like, I can think of, there's some companies and services that I just simply stick with or ditch based on the customer service. Literally, the initial product sign on and the use throughout, and when something goes wrong, a huge differentiator.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, like, I think with OrderBasket and our team, we really try to adopt the mindset that every problem that our users face is actually an opportunity for us to build that connection and to help them really and learn more about what they need and what they're looking for. So, of course, it's like it's nice to be friends with them and to be friends.
Hey. Whoa.
What's
It's
Sorry. Sorry
it's
about
the
that.
video world we live in. That's life.
Sorry about that. What was I saying? The
customer service. Focusing on customer
service. So I think that's something we really take pride in. I think we have great customer service. Yeah, much better than sometimes the customer service that you would see in like bigger companies, which is really, it's really great.
Yeah, we don't need to name names, but I'll tell you something. There is a almost inverse proportion to size of company, the level of customer service. Like literally, it is astounding. Some big companies that absolutely and totally neglect customer service. And I think that's great that you guys are focused, specifically on that. And another thing, that comes to mind, like when you're talking about offering service and connection to your customers beyond just what your service line is. I truly believe, we here in the Philippines, we've jumped digital and gone online a little later. The dependency on it is probably a little later than maybe some other countries, but we're all online now. We're all digital now, right? And so what we're losing in personal, individual, and physical interaction contact can easily be made up by diversifying your attitude and approach to your customers. And like, you're saying, instead of just giving them a platform to sell on, what if we're there for the customer service backup? What if we're there to link them with, possible, I don't know, in my line of work, anyone that I'm working with, either that's providing me a service or my, supplying us ingredients or that I'm selling to, if I can tell any of them about so-and-so on some back other end of my supply chain, I'm just trying to make up for that lack of interpersonal contact that we have and kind of create the community more virtually online and make it more diverse and dynamic.
Yeah, definitely.
Right on. Well, we're about to jump onto a second commercial break, but we will be right back here on Foreign Affairs with Miss Karina See here on the new channel. Welcome back, everybody, to Foreign Affairs here on the new channel. I'm Lee O'Brien, your host. And before we get back into the great conversation with Miss Karina See, would also like to just take this time to remind you and also talk again about this one week long celebration for one TNC year. So on the 15th of May, what we're going to do is we're going to run basically a 24-hour cycle of live stream shows and broadcasts throughout the day for 24 hours, on top of the previously mentioned on Mom, the women's show, and the Pink 2021. We have a lineup of live stream scheduling that's going to last for 24 hours straight here on the new channel. It's this Saturday, May 15th, and it's going to start bright and early at 5 a.m. and run all the way until 5 a.m. the next day. So we got some more classic shows showing up here that you can check out, that you can definitely watch some of your favorites, and make sure you tune in at any time of day. Also, make sure to check TNC, the new channel's Facebook pages for updates on specific times for your shows to watch. But we will have all of this streaming for 24 hours straight. It's kind of a tribute to the 1-year anniversary of the new channel. The new channel, has been just a great opportunity for the hosts and for the guests that have spoken on these shows. And, as I've mentioned before, this was created during the pandemic. It was a little ray of light, a little silver lining that came up out of the early lockdown time. Founded by Lloyd and Apple, the co-founders decided to create a broadcast network online. And it grew from just a few shows to now over 30 different shows that are both live and that are streaming in replay fashion. So you can tune in for just about any of those and just about any interest you might have to watch. So without further ado, I would like to invite our guest, Miss Karina See, co-founder of OrderBasket app, back on the show. Hi, Karina. Are we expecting anyone else to come in while we're shooting?
Sorry, I was muted, but I hope not.
No worries.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's so part and like normal now, in this video conference age that we're living in, for people to walk in to the background noise, people walking in, it's like there's this whole lineup of social norms that are just kind of like relaxed because it's going to happen. You never really know who's streaming what, where, right?
Yeah. But actually he came in because I'm using his phone for the hotspot, for the mobile hotspot, just so that the connection's a bit better. So that's my phone.
All right. Well, we won't take tell him we won't take too much more time, but we do want to finish strong and have some have a little more conversation. Hey, also to lighten up the mood, there's some chatter here backstage that you look a lot like a member of Blackpink. Yeah, there's reports you look like Jisoo from Blackpink.
So I don't think I do, but
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, the chatter is heavy backstage, and I just wanted to just bring that out. Not really to embarrass you, but just a little comic relief for a little end. I actually know of Jisoo pretty well because Blackpink is one of my 3-year-old daughter's favorite groups. So I've become very well schooled on all 4 members of Blackpink. So if they're calling you Jisoo, it's just take it as a compliment.
Thank you.
So what's that?
She is very pretty, so thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Karina, let's look forward. You have a product that's been brought to market. You guys are starting to feel out what's working, what's not. You're starting to perceive. What do you see as the future for OrderBasket? What do you seeing as the future, and what do you hope to get to?
We definitely hope to, well, of course, we do want to grow our user base, but in terms of our product direction, we really want to be able to offer more end-to-end services, like, for example, accepting payments for these merchants, and also helping them fulfilling their orders through logistics. So those are some of the other pain points that, as of now, we are not yet able to solve. But for example, in the future, we'd really like to help them fulfill their own orders and accept, basically streamline the process for them. And then as the product direction, we also wanted to delve into more of the social selling. So how can we really help them sell, or, well, how can we really help them grow on these current platforms that they're in? So for example, we've noticed that many people are really based on Viber and Instagram. So perhaps we could look into building tools for them to grow their business more effectively on those platforms. So those are the things that we're really looking to do.
Right on. The integrations are huge, very attractive, but they're also huge upsells for any product, in your space, and if you guys can get that, and I'm hoping you can, that would, I'm sure you guys would be seeing a lot of increase in business with that. Let's take a step back. Now for about a year, you previously had worked a little bit in tech before, and now for the last year, you've been into the tech industry, working in a certain demographic of the tech industry. What are you seeing in terms of the Filipino tech scene? What have you learned about it that maybe you didn't know before?
I think things are really looking up for the Filipino tech scene. We see many new startups kind of happening and growing every day. And it's also more accessible now than ever before. So just like us, people who don't have that much background in tech, we are seeing more and more of these types of startups show up, and in many different sectors. So like, of course, e-commerce, but also in finance and even in the medical field. And it's really great to see that the ecosystem, I think, is really growing. And not just with the startups themselves, also, like, for example, there are many accelerator programs and local investors that are really popping up here as well.
I totally agree with you. I'm seeing the sector is a lot of upside, a lot of future to it, a lot of motivated minds, and then also, I to throw my 2 cents in on that, I'm seeing a lot of either a lot of homegrown talent, but then also a lot of maybe ex-Silicon Valley people kind of wandering back home and starting to contribute their knowledge base and their wisdom to the scene, which can only add to it. I think Filipinos are proud enough that they want to keep their style and their edge, but when you have people that have learned and cut teeth in Europe and in Silicon Valley, they're also learning from some of the industry leaders, global industry leaders. So it can only be beneficial. Is there anything you see in the tech scene that maybe frustrates you or you wish would change?
Nothing really comes to mind, I would say. But yeah, nothing comes to mind. Actually, I really love how accessible it is for anyone to get in on. I think, for example, web development and app development is probably one of the most accessible things and accessible industries that anyone can get into. So yeah.
Good. That's great. I mean, if you can if you can sit there and have it all positive and you're liking where it is, that's just going to add on to what you're applying and what you're contributing to your company and the scene around. Okay, so let's finish strong, Karina. I brought you on here. Main reason I brought you on here is we got a hype. So please tell people where they can reach you, where they can reach OrderBasket, how they can get involved, how they can get a demo. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Lee. So for anyone who is interested, please check out our Facebook page or our website or our Instagram. And most recently, we've also launched a TikTok. So you can reach us on any of those platforms and just message us for any questions at all, or if you would like any kind of demo, or if you would like to inquire about, like, for example, pricing and the inclusions and what we think really the more nitty-gritty and details of the service we provide. Please just send us a message on any of those platforms, or just follow us to see more content. And we're always working to improve the product, and we're growing every day. So thank you so much for your interest, and thank you for having me, Lee.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And I'll be honest, ever since before the demo, I was impressed. And then since the demo, really liking what you guys are doing. So I absolutely, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, Karina, and wishing you, Tiffany, and the entire OrderBasket team nothing but success, onwards and upwards. And hope you guys really solidify yourself and just create great opportunity for others. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was really nice meeting you, Lee.
Pleasure. And thank you for being here. Well, I'll tell you, like I said before, I've taken the demo myself. I've seen, how the operations work over at OrderBasket, and I cannot recommend them enough. They are a great solution and option for any of you small micro businesses that want to not as much. You're not focused as in heavy investment, but you're also getting the needed services for inventory tracking, finance management, etc., and customer database. It's a great system. I highly recommend OrderBasket. So check them out at OrderBasket app. Also OrderBasket.app on Facebook. Go check them out. It's definitely worth the time in the demo. And who knows, it could just solidify and make your business operations that much easier. And as for you that are interested in the Philippine tech scene, this is just one more proof, one more example of a group of people who had but definitely minimal experience in the tech industry and in the vocation that they're trying to pursue, creating something out of nothing with no experience. And now they're on market showing people a great option for their business. If that's not an inspirational story, I don't know really what is. You start from absolutely nothing and create something that is benefiting other people. Good on them. So congrats to the entire OrderBasket team. As always, I would like to self-hype a little bit here. You guys can always reach me at Lee O'Brien on Instagram or Facebook. And then, of course, come check out our food products over at Pokley Food Products on Facebook and Instagram, or come over to our website, www.pokleyfoods.com. Please come on, check it, and you can order from there. We can get you food throughout the Philippines. We're delivering, and one day soon, we're talking about exporting and getting ready for the world. So those of you around the world watching, we will be with you soon. Just wait. And then, of course, you can check out our blog at Pokley Cooking on both Instagram or Facebook, but please check out Pokley Cooking Official on YouTube. You can learn about all kinds of great recipes, but also a little kilig, a little fun, a little Filipino culture. We're going to throw it all in there. Hey, guys, it's been a pleasure doing this special episode celebrating the 1-year anniversary of TNC, the new channel. I'd like to send a special shout out to my directors here, Director Mobs, Hershey, everyone who has stepped up and helped out over the course. I know I'm leaving specific names out. That is nothing personal. I just want to encompass all of the directors who are behind the scene and make this happen. And also special shout out to my co-hosts, to all of you who come in every week or sometimes multiple times a week. put on great shows. Congratulations. And of course, last and absolutely not least, to the co-founders, Apple and Lloyd. Thank you guys, first of all, both for this opportunity, but it's more especially, thank you for taking the time, sharing your muse with the world, and creating this great channel for people to come to share time with, to release their times, get their mind off stress, get their mind off pandemics and lockdowns, and able to see some great quality content. So hats off to you, TNC, the new channel. It's been a great year, and make sure you all tune in this week for the special episodes. And of course, tune in this Saturday, May 15th, for all those special conference and episodes that will be broadcasting for 24 hours straight. One TNC year. It's a 7-day live streaming event, and topping off with our 24-hour nonstop live stream on 15th of May. One remarkable celebration, one idea, one community, #one TNC year. I thank you all for watching the Foreign Affairs. It has been an absolute pleasure here on TNC. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'm signing off. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks again. This is Leo Bryan. Have a good one. Bye.